Ever hear a wacky conspiracy theory and think, no way, that can't be true? Well, what if I told you that some of the most unbelievable stories are actually happening right under our noses? Buckle up, because the truth about how banks create money is wilder than any fiction you've ever heard. It's not just a tale spun by conspiracy theorists, it's a reality that shapes our everyday lives. Imagine a magic trick, but instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, they pull money out of thin air. Sounds impossible, right? But that's essentially what happens in the banking world. We often think of banks as giant vaults, hoarding piles of cash, safeguarding our hard-earned money, but the reality is far more complex and intriguing. Here's the kicker: most of the money they lend out doesn't actually exist as physical bills and coins. It's all digital, created with a few keystrokes. Mind blown, right? This digital money is what fuels our economy, making transactions seamless and efficient. This isn't about shady backroom deals, it's the bedrock of our modern financial system. Intrigued? You should be. The way money is created and circulated affects everything from your mortgage to the price of groceries. Let's dive into the fascinating world of fractional reserve banking. This system allows banks to lend out more money than they actually have in reserves, multiplying the amount of money in circulation. It's a delicate balance that keeps our economy running smoothly, but it also raises questions about stability and risk. So how does it work? When you deposit money in a bank, they keep a fraction of it in reserve and lend out the rest. This creates new money in the form of loans, which then gets deposited and lent out again, creating a cycle of money creation. It's like a never-ending loop of financial magic. Understanding this process can be mind-boggling, but it's crucial for grasping how our financial system operates. So next time you hear about the mysterious ways of money creation, remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory, it's the great money illusion.
Section 5. The case of the magical mortgage. Let's say you want to buy a house. It's a dream for many, a place to call your own, where you can build memories and a future. You go to the bank, and they agree to give you a mortgage for $200,000. This is a significant amount of money, and it feels like a huge step towards achieving your dream. But have you ever wondered, where do you think that money comes from? Is it sitting in a vault somewhere waiting for you? A giant vault filled with cash? Nope. That's a common misconception. The reality is quite different and much more fascinating. The bank creates it right then and there simply by making an entry in your account. It's almost like magic, but it's actually a well-established financial practice. Now, you owe the bank $200,000 plus interest, and that debt becomes an asset for the bank. This debt is valuable to the bank because it represents future income. They can even use that asset to borrow money from other banks, further multiplying the money supply. This process is known as fractional reserve banking. It's like a financial ecosystem, with money flowing from one place to another, constantly being created and destroyed. This system allows for economic growth and the expansion of credit, but it also requires careful regulation to prevent instability. So the next time you think about taking out a mortgage, remember the intricate dance of numbers and entries that makes it all possible. It's a complex system, but it's what keeps our economy moving. And in the end, it helps people achieve their dreams of homeownership, turning abstract numbers into tangible realities. This magical process of creating money through mortgages is a cornerstone of modern banking, enabling countless families to find a place they can call home. Understanding this process gives us a deeper appreciation of the financial systems that support our daily lives and the dreams we strive to achieve. So here's to the magical mortgage, a key player in the story of our financial lives.
Section 6. Money multiplied, a real-world example. Let's say Sarah deposits $1,000 into Bank A. The bank keeps $100 in reserve and lends out $900 to Bob. This is a common practice in the banking industry known as fractional reserve banking, where banks are only required to keep a fraction of their deposits in reserve and can lend out the rest. Bob uses the money to buy a used car from Carol, who deposits the $900 into Bank B. Bank B keeps $90 in reserve and lends out $810 to David. This process of lending and depositing continues, creating a ripple effect throughout the economy. Each time money is deposited and lent out, it increases the total money supply. See the pattern? This cycle can repeat itself multiple times, with each loan creating new money in the economy. The money multiplier effect shows how an initial deposit can lead to a much larger increase in the total money supply. It's a fascinating process that highlights the interconnectedness of our financial system. The initial deposit of $1,000 has now ballooned into a much larger sum, all thanks to the power of fractional reserve banking. This system allows banks to create money through lending, which can stimulate economic growth. However, it also means that banks must carefully manage their reserves to ensure they can meet withdrawal demands. Understanding this process is crucial for anyone interested in how modern banking works and its impact on the economy.
Section 7. The Fed's Balancing Act. Now, you might be thinking, if banks can just create money out of thin air, won't we end up with hyperinflation? That's where central banks come in. In the US, it's the Federal Reserve, aka the Fed. The Fed acts like a financial referee, setting the reserve requirement, controlling interest rates, and generally making sure the whole system runs smoothly. They walk a tightrope, trying to keep inflation in check while also encouraging economic growth. It's a delicate balancing act, but someone's got to do it.
Section 8. Your money, their rules. So, what does all this mean for you? Well, it means that the money we use every day is essentially created by private banks operating under a system regulated by the government. It's a strange thought, isn't it? Some people argue that this system gives banks too much power, while others say it's the best way to manage a modern economy. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but understanding how it works is the first step towards forming your own opinion.
Section 9. The big picture. Money makes the world go round. Fractional reserve banking is like the engine that drives our economy. It allows businesses to grow, people to buy homes, and governments to fund public services. It's not without its flaws, but it's the system we have, and it's not going away anytime soon. So the next time you hear someone say money doesn't grow on trees, you can smile knowingly and say, actually, it kind of does, in the magical world of banking.
Section 10. Keep the curiosity going. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the fascinating world of money and banking. There's a whole universe of information out there, from the history of currency to the complexities of monetary policy. So don't stop here. Read books, watch documentaries, and ask questions. The more you learn about how money works, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the financial landscape. Happy exploring.